Benny's week 2 went really good. In the week 2, we worked more on structure and positioning and stronger recalls and outs, duns, drop-its, comes, all that. So with the equipment, we had a little bit of a setback. Benny was getting a little bit desensitized to the training collar, so we had to upgrade him onto the prong because Benny is a very pushy dog. He wants to test you. If you're not paying attention, he's going to test you, he's going to pull, he's going to do all that. So with the prong collar, it's just a bit of a more stable correction. He's not, lunging forward. It's keeping him completely parallel with me. One of the biggest things that I worked with Benny on week 2 is his off switch, which most high drive dogs, they don't have an off switch. They need to learn how to turn off that drive. Going into the check-in, the parents didn't really mention anything about that, but then, I showed them a video, talked them through it, and then they said that they like the off switch. We've been doing really good managing Benny's drive and his off switch, and I cannot wait to show the parents just how good he's gotten and how far he has come in his obedience.
Really with this second week, I saw a lot of improvement with him, from the dog that came in 2 weeks ago, definitely a brand new dog. Was a good boy when he came in, but he was just a dog that, like I said, really needed help working around distractions and kind of just, feeding into a lot more control that this training is supposed to help him utilize. So really this last week, that's kind of a lot of what we focused on. His first week was just shaping a lot of his obedience, getting him desensitized to working around all the distractions of, countless number of dogs, a lot of new people. And then going into the second week, we really just focused on that impulse control and kind of just giving him a proper mindset. So since I was kind of just a secondary, really just kind of sitting in on this camp, I didn't have the full privilege that Seira and a lot of our other trainers had of, working with him consistently. I did do a couple sessions with him, and each session I really just saw improvement in him every single time. But it's really been fun and exciting to really see Seira kind of take this on as one of her first camps. I think she's done a fantastic job for, like I said, this kind of being one of her first camp that she's kind of taken on her own. Definitely not an easy dog, but I think that's been good for her, giving her a lot of experience. And, even for me, someone that's been doing this, a couple hundred times, he was a tough dog in my opinion. So, I can only understand how she feels, but she's done a really good job just rocking it, really teaching him everything that he needs to know. So, I'm really proud of her. I think she's done a good job really going into the second week, giving him everything that he needed mentally, giving him all the stimulation, really working on his impulse control. But all in all, I'm really proud of the both of them, and I can't wait to see how he works for his owners.
Today is transition day. Benny's parents are coming, so me and Chase are going to be going into the auditorium and showing them just how well Benny has been. So, when he came in, he was a puller. He was pulling everyone, everywhere, and that, of course, had to stop immediately. So the first week I really worked on was his pulling, his engagement, and building a relationship with him, because without a relationship, without foundation, you have nothing. So within the first, I want to say 3 days, he stopped pulling, like crazy pulling, like, taking me through the facility. He is also something that we call a bolter. So, you open a door, he's gone. You open a kennel door, he's gone. You open a crate door, he's out. I stopped that. So now, when I put him in his crate, I tell him to go crate, he goes down, I can leave the crate door open. I think I took a few pictures of him just in the crate or in the kennel and the door's open, and he's chilling. First week, I also touched up on his basic stuff, sit down, stay. Second week is when I wanted to really test him, and then that's when I started working on his off switch, which I know we didn't really talk about that in the check-in, but since he's a high drive dog, I thought that you guys would probably want that off switch. I want to say it's pretty stable. I want to say it's a 7 out of 10. He still needs some work on it, but other than that, he's pretty good. So with toys, I'll be like, Benny, done. He drops it, he sits, he waits.
But I know it seems simple, but I always tell people this is probably the hardest thing that this dog has done in the last 2 weeks right here.
All right, do you guys want to be sitting or standing when he comes says? Okay.
And right now, Seira, manage it as much as possible, but I always let the dog and the owners have the moment right here. He hasn't seen you in 2 weeks. He's going to be in a different mindset, so obviously he knows not to jump on people, not to do this and everything like that, but I feel bad if the dog's saying hello and we're sitting there correcting him and everything like that, so. Oh, good job, buddy. Good job. Because right here, Seira, it's so hard to actually manage all this excitement, you know. I give the dog the benefit of the doubt right there.
Benny, sit. Down. Good job. Benny, stay.
And then one thing too, oh, you're fine, you keep doing your thing, Seira, but you know, kind of with the heel that I always like to tell people, and you know, a lot of the owners kind of think that the heeling is just kind of the action and the motion of us walking, but that right there, you know, that's a textbook sit at heel. And you know, that's something that you guys want to kind of continue holding him accountable to, just because what heel is, it's a position, but it's the position you want to hold the dog accountable to kind of staying in. So like right there, you know, when she's walking with him, obviously if you tell him heel, you want him to be in that heel, you know. But when you guys come to a stop, whether that's, you know, you guys waiting in line to pay at our office, or you're at the vet with him, or you're on a walk and you have to stop and talk to the neighbor or something like that, you know, I don't want him thinking like, oh, okay, that's when my heel ends. So when you guys come to a stop with him and ask him for that sit or a down, he's technically still in heel, you know, so I don't want the control to end when you guys actually stop walking. But like right there, him being in that sit right there, all the same rules apply, you know, of him being on leash, you know, like right here, it's not ending. You know, I don't want him thinking it's okay to rush over to you guys, go rush over to this dog, rush over to me, rush over to Max, this and that. So he's still technically in his heel command. You're just not moving with him yet, you know?
There you go.
Place.
Good boy.
Down.
Yes.
Good boy, yes.
So when should you mark and for like a place? As soon as all 4 feet are up, as soon as he's laying down?
You can do both. I mean, since he understands place now, like really just when he's all the way down, I mean, like when we're first teaching a dog place, it kind of goes into like 2 different steps of sending the dog to the place bed and then working on the end result, which is obviously him just laying there until told otherwise. So like a lot of the time, you know, we have to teach the dog to target that bed. So, you know, when he first gets on there, like, yes, that's what I want you to do. So, you know, like at home, if you guys are gonna be using like a different type of place bed, you know, like some people will go use like a dog bed that they already had at home. It might be smart to kind of walk him up when he actually gets on the bed, like, oh yes, good boy, just so he knows like, oh, okay, they want me to interact with this bed in a training kind of focus. But if it's something like an elevated cot bed that you guys are gonna be using, like more than likely he should understand like, hey, go to place, and he goes onto the place bed like he just did. And then once he's down, yes, good boy, give him that treat. And then from there, once he's down, really all you have to do now is just kind of continuously reward and build up his duration.